we're looking for a place that would naturally be an extension of his experience in wilderness, which was a positive experience at the end. And when we heard about Costa Rica's, about NSA being in Costa Rica, it was surprising, but it quickly became the most obvious place for him to continue his year of growth. We met all the people. They were kind, understanding, had a great understanding of the type of person who Eli was, because it's like how all the boys are in some form. And it was, all of it turned out to be exactly as we expected.
Yeah. Even though we couldn't come here and see it beforehand, there were great videos with a couple of the guys taking a tour, answering some questions. They spoke to our son when he was in wilderness and was able to tell him about the program. Anytime we wanted to talk to a staff member about whether we were concerned about his education, our son was in his senior year, looking to possibly go to college the following year, we were connected to the right person for the right topics of questions, whether it be therapeutic, academic. And I think the other thing that really appealed to us, not only because it's just a wonderful opportunity to be here in this climate, but it was small. It felt very family-like. The staff, the number of students was not too many, and the idea of the program, that it wasn't for years, but it was that extension of some of the work he had already been doing, and that there were kids that were moving on as role models, and he would be a new one coming in, and there was opportunity for growth and mentoring, and not just staff support, but there was a very big emphasis on peer support.
Changes are unbelievable. Eli's ability to consider others, his development of his empathy, his controlling of his emotions, and everything he learned carried over into our family, amongst me, Jill, our son's older brother. It all fit in together, and that was really when everything, all the help kind of exploded once we learned it was a family experience.
Even when there were new situations that popped up, the way we went about it as a family to talk through it and consider it, it felt more like we were working together instead of fighting each other. And I mean, the therapist helped a great deal, but I feel like even when we had our home visits, we were able to do some of that on our own. It's getting better. Everything's a work in progress. But I would also say just the beauty of the check-in, of learning to stop and check in at any given moment, and that pause, or if there's a big decision coming up, the beauty of knowing you don't have to make a decision in that second. And if something's really tough, we can pause and come back to it in a more thoughtful and emotionally controlled way.
So important for our son to know that it wasn't just he who was doing the work, that it was all of us. And not just that it was all of us, but that we all needed to do work.
Mm-hmm.
And we came to understand what we needed to grow as a family, as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And that really kind of blossomed in the last 4 to 6 months here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a process. That's the one thing I'd say about all of this. It's a process. You're not going to have the same understanding of NSA the first day as you do the 100th day and the
You start hearing things you're told in your head, like you catch yourself maybe going back to an old way of interacting and sort of thinking, oh, that was kind of a red and I need to show up in the green. You get this little terminology, but it we as parents, we're going to make mistakes too, and we're going to have to, I think the main thing is being able to recognize that and to help shift. I think that's the whole thing, is the family. It's not that you come out of it and you're, all perfectly interacting, but that you have the tools to go through tough times, or, catch yourself and start again and repair, and so that ultimately you have a respectful relationship with each other.
And the experiences that he had here were just things that you could not have given him in any other part of the United States. From the Aventuras had all different experiences, going to the beaches, going to see different types of wildlife, and just the beauty of Costa Rica.
Homestays. You get
the homestays.
Families that welcome your son into their homes, and they get to take a break from being on campus, but it's very loving and relaxing for them. They can't come home to us when they're so far away, but they build in different kinds of experiences to break things up and give them, fulfill their needs in different ways.
There was never a moment where we didn't feel completely safe with where Eli was, and that's such a profound feeling to have after experiencing him not being safe when he was in our home. And we're extraordinarily grateful for that experience, and to know that he's prepared for what comes ahead.
Well, we have to shout out for Ignacio, aka Nacho. That's Eli's therapist. I think as a family, you get to know the therapist the best. We meet with them every week, and you know that your child's meeting with them, and even when we needed extra, they were available, even on breaks. Total shout out for the therapist. That's such a special bond.
And then, there's the people that we didn't get to know as well, but we hear about a lot.
Yeah.
Eli talked about Andy a lot, and Andy was somebody who became very important to him. We met him, of course, we got to know him, but not in the same way because we're not doing sessions with him. But we could tell how important he became to Eli, about his experience throughout his time at NSA. They had a connection through a common interest, but it wasn't just based on that. They got to know each other, and I think that he saw Eli as his own person from the beginning. And seeing how Eli was so excited to thank Andy for his help was a great part of his graduation speech, and we love that.